Honourable Michael Woodhouse.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm very pleased to take a call on this very important bill, and I want to acknowledge those members who have made what I think have been very thoughtful interventions overall, although I have to say how disappointed I am at the interventions of the Green Party, and if there is any example of why that party should never be on the Treasury benches, it's in this. Because the very first role of government is to protect its people. Now, I want to acknowledge the very thoughtful Dr. Kennedy Graham, and in his suggestion that this smacks of arrogance, he does what he often does, and he quotes somebody to make his point, in this case Benjamin Franklin, whose famous quote is thus: "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." Now, he suggests that this is some kind of zero-sum game, that the restriction on liberty is necessary in order to increase safety. Well, I want to commend another Benjamin to Dr. Graham, that's Benjamin Witz, who wrote a very thoughtful article completely refuting the popular myth that that's what Ben Franklin was actually saying. And he goes on to talk about purchase actually not being a metaphor, because in 1755, when he actually made that quote, he was talking about taxation, not liberty. And I encourage Dr. Graham to go and read that article, because what Ben Franklin was saying was nothing of the sort of the misunderstanding and the myth that somehow safety and liberty are two ends of a spectrum, one necessarily having to give way with the other. I don't accept that. It is absolutely necessary for governments from time to time to provide some form of surveillance with the necessary protections that go around this. And as Mr Little, and I acknowledge his promotion as Leader of the Opposition, in his very thoughtful intervention talked about the importance of privacy, but of course we have already, this is not a matter of principle on privacy, it's a matter of process. A very important one, I would accept, but nevertheless one that I think this Parliament and many free parliaments around the world have acknowledged has already been, that's an argument that's already been made. We need to work out what we do in what is a very rapidly evolving situation, and I think if anything, the events of Ottawa are examples of where vigilance is absolutely necessary. I want to touch on a second point that Dr. Graham made about the arbitrary deprivation of the right to nationality. The suspension or removal of a passport does not constitute the removal of nationality or the creation of statelessness.
I'm sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. This debate is interrupted. I shall resume the chair at 7:30.